from Minute Maid Park in Houston, Texas. Fox Sports Houston brings you Houston Astros baseball. Tonight is the finale of this 10-game homestand. The Houston Astros meeting the New York Mets. Good evening, everybody. Bill Brown and Jim Misch. The Astros 5-4 on this homestand. Today, JD, they traded Pedro Feliz to the Cardinals for a young pitcher named Carpenter, not Chris. And they have a new pitcher, Fernando Abad, in the bullpen, and Tommy Manziel is back.
Well, they could probably use that new arm in the bullpen. 14-inning game last night. The Astros lost to the Mets. Need a win today to get a split of this series and have a 6-4 homestand. Speaking of 14, how about Bud Norris last time out? 14 strikeouts to set a Minute Maid Park record. Just about every one of them swinging. He had the Pirates chasing that slider down and in. They could not lay out that high fastball. Really broke out the power game last time out. 95-mile-an-hour heater, good power slider. We'll see if it works against the Mets tonight.
Lefty Pat Misch is going for New York in the finale of this 4-game series. Bud Norris really had the eye levels changing on the Pittsburgh Pirates. Let's see how he performs against the Mets in just a moment. Dealers in the 2010 F-150 by Jack in the Box and by Fred Lyon Insurance. Final game of the homestand. The Astros say goodbye to the Union Station area after this game, and they'll be gone for 10 days. Back for only 3 games with the Cardinals. Tonight's HD telecast is presented by your local Lincoln Mercury dealers and the 2010 MKS. Technologically breathtaking. Reach higher with the 2010 Lincoln MKS. Inside with the air conditioning pumping, here's the lineup for Jerry Manuel's visiting New York Mets, who are 60-60 this season, 2-1 in this series. Jose Reyes leads it off. He's the shortstop. He's had a big series, followed by Luis Castillo at second base. Angel Pagan's center fielder batting third. David Wright is the cleanup man at third base, with Ike Davis at first base. Jeff Francoeur at right field. Chris Carter, the left fielder. Rod Barajas returning from the DL to do the catching. And Pat Misch on the mound.
Starting pitcher brought to you by Suzuki. It's hard-throwing right-hander Bud Norris. We'll take a look at the report on Bud. Last 4 games, 3-0. with a 3.51 ERA, including that 14 strikeout performance last time out. Helps himself too. At the bat, he had 2 hits in that game against the Buccos. Holds runners well, has a good pickoff move, and this is his first look at the New York Mets, and perhaps more importantly, their first look at him. Defensively, well, it looks like this. Jason Michaels is going to get a start in left field tonight. Warren and Pence cover center and right. Infield has Sanchez Johnson on the left side. Blum out there again at second base, and Carlos Lee making his second start at first base on the homestand. Roberto Quintero pairing nicely with Bud last time, back behind the dish tonight.
Now Bud gathers himself before this first pitch of the game. Astros starting pitchers have really been plowing through this homestand in very good fashion with a 2.29 ERA. Reyes at 286 with 8 homers, has driven in 44. Big series, 7 for 14 with an RBI. And he's on a 5-game hitting streak. Bud Norris delivers ball 1 with Angel Hernandez behind the plate tonight. Reyes has scored 69 runs. The Astros will welcome their 30 millionth fan to Minute Maid Park tonight. It's 2 balls, no strikes for Bud Norris with 5 wins and 7 losses. An ERA of 5.42. 110 pitches on Saturday in that win against the Pirates. He comes in crisply at 93 for strike 1 to Reyes. All these games in this series have been well pitched, tight games, low scoring. 3-1 Mets, 4-3 Astros, 3-2 Mets, and 14.
This whole homestand has been a bunch of games like that. Well pitched, well played games. A lot of the late game drama. A little more than we bargained for last night, going 14.
And the Mets won it, and both bullpens were really taxed. So tonight will be interesting in that light. It's out towards shortstop. A 1-hopper. Sanchez, quick throw to first, and the stretch by Lee gets him. And he could not make any kind of a mistake. That ball was lined out to Sanchez, and he got his feet set and pumped it over to Lee.
Sanchez at one time had a very strong throwing arm. He's had some injuries. He doesn't quite have the cannon he used to have, so he has to get rid of it a little bit more quickly than perhaps in the past. And it's always dangerous when you see an infielder backing up with a guy like Reyes going down the line.
That's for sure. Now Castillo showing bunt, takes ball 1. He's an excellent bunter. 240 is his average. He's driven in 15. Former Florida Marlin. 0 for 2 in this series with a walk.
3 consecutive switch hitters to start the game for the Mets tonight. And they've got a 4th on the bench. Carlos Beltran getting the night off. At least the night out of the starting lineup.
That one's up high for Castillo. The count running to 2-1. The Mets made a player move today. Rod Barajas, who's in the starting lineup tonight, ended his injury rehab assignment and was activated. Lefty hitting outfielder Fernando Martinez went back to AAA. Rolled out to Sanchez. He takes care of the first 2 plays for Bud Norris. And Tommy Manzella has returned to the Astros tonight, and he will be sharing some playing time at shortstop with Sanchez in the future. There's Tommy. Back from the broken finger. And a number of games in the minor leagues to get ready to return to the big league club. Jeff Keppinger also been out with that toe injury, and he's ready to go again. Angel Pagan, 296, 10 homers, 54 runs batted in, is 1 for 12 in this series. Pagan looks at ball 1.
Jeff Keppinger available, but I think Brad Mills must want to give him at least one more day, because if he was all systems go, I think he'd have him in there with a lefty on the mound tonight for the Mets.
Pagano drove in a run last night, fouls it back. It's a 1-ball, 1-strike count. Angel, 29 years old, having a very good season. He hit 306 for the Mets last year at 343 at bats. He's driven in far more runs this season than he did a year ago, and a good defensive player as well.
McHugh calling for that fastball way up, a pitch that was very effective for Bud last time, and obviously the Mets have seen scouting reports and plenty of video, including that last start, so they're clued into his ability to pitch up in the strike zone with that fastball.
Oh, slider. Makes it 2-2. Got him lunging at that one. Bud had a very good slider going, and in fact, Brad Mills said after his last start it was almost two different types of sliders, going at different speeds.
If you're going to try to backdoor it, if you're a right-handed pitcher and you're going to try to backdoor it to a lefty, you're going to get on top of it a little bit more and make it a little bit softer. And that's a lot of times that's the one you're just trying to throw over to get a called strike, and then the one you're trying to get a swinging strike on is going to break hard towards his glove side, down and away from a righty, down and in on a lefty.
Now, Bud said after that game with the Pirates that he was trying to move that fastball around and the breaking pitch and just show different looks to the hitters. Matt Armsberg had to like the results with that one. That was a Minute Maid Park record for strikeouts in a game with 14. Flick foul. The Mets are 13th in runs scored. Their pitching has been good this year, but they've had all kinds of offensive difficulties. Jerry Manuel's club 60-60, 11 games behind the front runners, the Braves, when play started tonight. Mets go on to Pittsburgh after this series. And another good slider gets a strikeout for Norris. He has a 1-2-3 first, but the Astros coming up in just a moment. For you tonight, it's Michael Bourne in center field, Angel Sanchez at shortstop, Hunter Pence in right field, big homestand for Hunter, followed by first baseman Carlos Lee. Jason Michaels plays left field with Chris Johnson at third base. Jeff Blum plays second. Humberto Quintero is the catcher for Bud Norris.
Starting pitcher brought to you by Suzuki. Left-hander Pat Misch just turned 29 years of age yesterday. Fastball, cutter, curveball, changeup guy. In his career, he's 3-12 with a 4.67 ERA. Just called up from AAA. This is his second start with the Mets this year. And it's all about location for him. He's not a hard thrower. Fastball top out in the 70, 88 mile an hour range typically.
Ball one to Michael Bourne is upstairs. Michael at 253, or 250 rather, has one homer, 27 runs batted in. Goes foul. It's 1-1. Michael with 65 runs scored, trying to get things started against Misch.
There's two fastballs up on the board at 84 miles an hour.
Michael puts this one in the air, and Pagan in center moves in. Going out for Misch, who was at AAA Buffalo until mid-August.
Outfield is covered by Carter, Pagan, and Francoeur tonight. As I mentioned last half, Carlos Beltran with a night off. Right, Reyes, Castillo, Davis around the infield, and the veteran Rod Barajas behind the plate.
Angel Sanchez has handled himself extremely well since putting on an Astros uniform. He's hit lefties well. Here's ball one to a 291 hitter with no homers. He's driven in 16. He's hit .320 against southpaws.
Misch's numbers in the minor leagues at AAA this year, 11-4, 3.23 ERA, and he was tougher on right-handed hitters than lefties in terms of batting average. You find that a lot with finesse guys. The changeup away, the cutter in. Very effective weapons for him against right-handed hitters. Most guys command their arm side much better than they do the glove side. So his fastball down and away, his changeup floating down and away, probably has better command of those pitches than he does when he tries to go to the other side.
The left center field, Pagan churning for it. Back to the track. About a 395-foot out number two. Sanchez unloading.
For his first home run of the year, coming up just a little bit shy. Last night, Jeff Blum got number one. Angel, a pretty good bid for his first. Big part of the yard out there. Angel to Angel.
Yeah. Hunter Pence is next. 283 for Hunter. 18 homers, 66 runs batted in. 0 for 5 last night. That snapped a 6-game hitting streak. But still, the numbers look much better after this homestand. He's hit .353 with 3 homers and driven in 8 during the last 9 games on this homestand. Lashes a line drive to left. That one hops the wall. Kicks away from the left fielder Carter. And Pence has an easy double. Number 25 of the year for Hunter. A hard hit liner.
And it's interesting. Carter was playing so deep that he was actually too close to the wall to handle the carom. That ball was hit so sharply, it just kicked hard off the wall and right past Carter. Looked like he was going to be in pretty good shape. And you see, not even in your picture there, how tight he is to the wall.
Hunter's in scoring position. Carlos Lee is the batter. 4-game hitting streak for Carlos. This is his second start at first base this season. 248 is his average with 15 homers. He's driven in 62. 4 hits in this series. And tight for Misch. Ball one. You saw the numbers on Misch. That was a 4-0 loss for him with those numbers on Saturday to Philadelphia. He threw 106 pitches. Got a 7th-round draft choice in 03 by the Giants. Fly ball to center. Pagan looking, and he's got plenty of room for the 3rd out. No runs a hit, a runner stranded, no score after 1. Jaguar XJ showing you a matchup of third baseman David Wright and Chris Johnson. Johnson at .346. And Wright has hit 18 homers, driven in 78 runs. He left with an illness last night, not feeling good. But he's put the hurting on some pitchers this year. David Wright has returned a lot closer to the normal form prior to last season when his home runs really dropped off.
A big ballpark they moved into, Citi Field, I think maybe got in the heads of some of the Mets hitters last year. Maybe they got into some bad habits trying to swing a little extra hard to try to knock one out of the ballpark. Just a theory. No way of proving it.
Theories are good. Wright's on a 6-game hitting streak, and that one comes up and into him. 1 ball, 1 strike to David, who's made some nice plays at third base in this series. Just a solid player. He runs well. Excellent baseball player. An all-star this year. 2 balls and a strike. Had 3 hits the first night. He homered Tuesday night. 2 more hits last night. Very nice series for David. Slider stayed up and flattened out a little bit for Bud Norris. It's 3-1 now. Fouls it back. He had a good pitch to swing at. Norris with that mid-90s fastball can challenge. Wright's a .303 career hitter against the Astros with 6 homers, 24 runs batted in. Wright reaches for that one. Fly ball brings in Michael Bourne in center. Good comeback for Bud Norris after falling behind the plate.
Challenge with that 94-mile-an-hour heater. Wright had a good swing at it. That was his best chance, and then Bud came back with a real good slider on the outside edge and down around the knees. And Brad Mills would love to see Bud Norris pitch deep into this game, but I don't think that's a conversation you have with the pitcher, especially a young one, before the game. You don't try to get into a guy's head and say, look, I need you to pitch X number of innings, so you need to pitch a certain style of game. You just go out and do what you did last time. Go out and attack and see how things shake out.
Ball 1 to Ike Davis. He had what proved to be the game-winning run batted in the 14th last night on a sac fly. His 55th RBI of the season. Strike evens the count at 1-1 to Ike Davis of Arizona State, son of Ron Davis, all-time major league pitcher. Ron was from Houston. Ike, a first-round pick in 08. 23 years old. 2 balls and a strike. He and Brett Wallace were teammates at Arizona State. Three balls and a strike. The Astros have been getting better at home. Of course, they started 0-6 at home, so anything would be better than that. But they've won 17 of their last 26. Brad Mills Club 31 and 33 at Minute Maid Park this season. The next homestand will be just 3 games long against St. Louis, which traded for Pedro Feliz today. That's the walk to Davis. Mets drew 9 walks last night.
We were in St. Louis when it was announced that David Freese would not be back here. Young rookie third baseman that had performed so well earlier this year. Not surprised. I thought they'd take a run at Feliz or Jeff Blum. Pedro never really got things going here. Good guy, good player, good career, but struggled mightily in an Astro uniform.
Jeff Francoeur fouls it back, strike 1. 234 for Jeff, 11 homers, 48 runs batted in. Quintero out to the mound right after that pitch.
Jeff Francoeur has walked in all 3 games of this series. That's the first time all year he's walked in 3 consecutive games. He has 4 walks in the series, which matches his total output for the month of July. He's showing some patience that we typically do not see.
True. When he hits it well against the Astros. 343 is his lifetime average. Just off the edge. 1-1 for Bud Norris. Bud with 11 major league wins and 10 losses. 5.10 ERA. He's had 5 starts in a row with at least 6 innings of work. Toss goes over to first. First place Atlanta lost at home to Washington today in the NL East 6-2. Strike makes it 1-2. John Lannon the winner over Derek Lowe. Billy Harris hit home run number 6 and Mike Morse number 9 for the Nationals. The Braves get a new first baseman yesterday, Derek Lee. Now the Cardinals get a new third baseman today, Pedro Feliz. Foul back. 1-2. As you mentioned, Feliz had struggled this year, JD, and the Cardinals are really not getting much from Felipe Lopez. He made a couple of errors in one game a few days ago. Just not a very steady player, not having his usual offensive season. So Feliz might help them defensively as well as, you know, you're looking at a short horizon here. 6 weeks to go in the season. Maybe he comes up with a few key hits, and that justifies the trade. Teams in the Cardinals position usually are just looking to tweak things. If they can get a little bit better at a position, it's worth doing.
Yeah, if you get a chance to upgrade just a little bit, if you're in the playoff run, it's worth it as long as the price isn't too high. So, not sure how good this kid is the Astros got in return, but certainly not one of their top prospects. That's okay from the Astros point of view too. Pedro had kind of run out of room here. Chris Johnson taking over at third base. Carlos Lee being able to play a little first base. You got Brett Wallace here, so there's no real need to keep Pedro here.
2-2. 25-year-old David Carpenter, a right-handed reliever, came from the Cardinals in that deal. Carpenter was 5-3 in 49 relief appearances for Class A Palm Beach this year. And he had a 2.36 ERA and 20 saves, which ranked second in the Florida State League. Carpenter was drafted by the Cardinals as a catcher in the 12th round in 06, converted to pitching in 08. Kind of a classic matchup between a team vying for a playoff spot in the Cardinals and a team looking for younger players in the Astros. They matched up well for that deal.
Well, the Cardinals are feeling a little pressure now. They've lost 4 in a row, fallen 3 games behind the Reds in the Central Division. Cincinnati, what a nice job they did bouncing back after being swept by the Cardinals at home.
Yeah.
Reds have won 5 in a row now. Big comeback win last night against the D-backs.
Now they've offered Dusty Baker a contract extension, according to reports. Cincinnati with a 3-game lead over St. Louis at the moment. Cincinnati's at Arizona again tonight. This will be the 10th pitch to this batter. He fouls it back.
He's got him in swing mode. He just can't get him to miss. He's getting a piece here and a piece there to stay alive. And this is where, if you had that third option, a real soft breaking ball, you might be able to catch him way out in front. He has shown an effective changeup from time to time. It hasn't been a consistent pitch for him.
Still swinging, still fouling. Keeps the count at 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Here comes Blummer. Hey dude, why don't you try why don't you try one of these? Bud's like, I don't have one of those. I don't have a slow curveball, Jeff. Get back there and play second base. I got this.
39 pitches for Bud Norris. Brett Myers threw 111 last night. He went 7 innings, gave up 2 runs. All 25 of his starts have lasted at least 6 innings this year, 1 away from tying the club record. In the air to center field, Bourne in for the catch for out number 2. During the game, the Astros will honor the 30 millionth fan here at Minute Maid Park. Going into tonight's game, the Astros had drawn 29,981,380 since the park opened in 2000. So that's an average of 2.77 million per year. Now Chris Carter with 2 outs. Carter 0 for 3 in this series. And the throw goes over to first as he gets set in the batter's box. Carter's been a good pinch hitter this year. In fact, he's 0 for 3 all in pinch hit at bats in this series, but 11 pinch hits this season. There's strike 1 to him. Without Jason Bay, Carter gets a shot in left field tonight. He's still coming back from a concussion. Carter hit his first major league homer at Baltimore June 11th. He's from Fremont, California, and Stanford University. He's had 6 years in the minors. Fouls it back.
Getting a piece of Angel Hernandez with those foul balls. Carter, a good minor league hitter throughout his career. Not a lot of power. 300 lifetime batting average as a minor leaguer.
He was drafted in the 17th round by Arizona. It's 1-2 for Bud Norris. Florida 4, Pittsburgh nothing. Top of the 6th inning at PNC Park in Pittsburgh. Gabby Sanchez hit his 13th home run for the Fish. Fish will be headed home. The Astros will be meeting them tomorrow night in Florida. Runner takes off early. Here's Norris throwing to Sanchez, who drops the ball, and it triples out into right center field, and that gives Davis an opportunity to go all the way to third. Now, that should have been out number 3 to win the inning, and now it's Davis at third base.
Davis is not a burner, so he's just trying to cheat there, trying to anticipate the first move, and Bud held the ball on him, ultimately stepped off, did not have to put as much on that throw to Sanchez as he did. Still, the ball needs to be caught, so it's an error on Held.
4th error of the year. Norris credited with an assist on the play because Sanchez dropped his throw. And still, it's a 1-2 count on the batter with 2 outs in the inning.
So it's actually a caught stealing on Davis.
That's a fly ball. Michael Bourne comes in right center field and puts it away. Harmless error as it turned out. No runs, no hits. 1 error, 1 left. No score.
Dog Day presented by eBay Classifieds on Sunday, September 19th when the Astros host the Reds. For only $40, get a bullpen box seat for you and your pooch, an Astros dog bowl, and participate in all the great pregame events. Visit Astros.com/Dog Day for tickets today. Bill?
Thanks, Patty. Always a big day around here. Very happy in this scoreless ball game, bottom of the 2nd inning. Jason Michaels leading it off here, home second inning. 260 is his average, 7 homers, 22 runs batted in for J. Mike. Getting the start in left field for the 6th time this year. And there's strike one. Michaels 2 for 5 in this series. He's 3 for 10 on the homestand. Got a pinch single in the 8th inning last night to get to 260. Misch changing speeds, goes to a 1-1 count. Misch beat the Astros last year in New York at the end of the season, October 3rd, winning that one 5-1, giving up 1 run in 5 innings. It was a 2-hour and 10-minute rain delay that day. Off the end of the bat, it goes to Reyes.
That's the big pitch for him there. The little changeup moving down and away to the right-handed hitters. He's trying to get exactly what Jason Michaels did right there. Just get him to roll over a little bit and hit a weak little ground ball to third or short. Misch originally drafted by the Astros in 2002. Did not sign. Went back to school, Western Michigan University.
Broncos?
Sure. You say that with such conviction, I'm not even going to look it up.
Oh, yeah. Ball 1 to Chris Johnson. 346 for Chris, 6 homers, 35 runs batted in. 2 for 13 for Chris in this series. It was hitless last night. He gets the curve, and that works for a strike for Misch. Misch was a AAA All-Star this year.
His first 12 Major League starts, his team lost every game. He didn't get a loss every time. Only second pitcher in history that has happened to.
Give a guy a little complex. Is it me?
Losing pitcher Misch.
As a big leaguer, he's 3-9 as a starter with a 5.74 ERA. 0-3 as a reliever. You get Johnson to chase that breaking ball in the dirt. And the strikeout is number 1 of the night.
Yeah, I think what happens is you see a guy like Misch who's not a real hard thrower, and the right-handed hitter get a little greedy. Turn on one, and he'll take advantage of that. With all that craftiness. He's losing craftiness right now.
He is. Got 2 outs here, and it's Jeff Blum who hit his first home run of the season last night. Batting left-handed with 1 out in the 9th to tie it 2-2 off R.A. Dickey. He's 3 for 10 in the series. Ball 1. Really flattened that knuckleball last night. 268 his current average, and playing second again tonight while Keppinger rests that foot, which is going to be fine, they say. Homer's hitting 407 in August. Smacks that one on a line to David Wright. A hard hit out number 3 keeps this game scoreless through 2.
Cabot wood stains. Was dated 1900. The great Rube Waddell throws 2 complete games as Milwaukee sweeps the twin bill from the White Sox. He threw 17 innings in the first game. And then Connie Mack promised him a few days off to go fishing if he would pitch the nightcap. Rube complied, and he hurled a 5-inning one-hitter.
Deserves some fishing after all that work.
Rube Waddell. Milwaukee in 1900, huh? Well, they had a Major League Baseball team in 1900.
I think it was in what was called the American Association then, but I think it
wasn't Major League.
I think it was kind of considered a Major League team, but we'll have to check on that. Rod Barajas, 228, 12 homers, 34 driven in. Just returned from the DL tonight. He was on an injury rehab assignment in the minor leagues, and he now gives them a third catcher with Josh Tolle, the main man, and Henry Blanco, another catcher on this Mets club. Fernando Martinez now back at AAA. Strike call there makes it 1-2 to Rod Barajas, 34-year-old veteran. Came up, was drafted, signed actually by Arizona in '96 from California. Chases the Norris. High heater. Strikeout number 2.
And some of these Met hitters have been able to lay off that high fastball. Rod Barajas was rather pirate-like with that swing. This is what happened in that last start, time and time again.
Good look at it. Pat Misch is 0 for 1 this season. Chases him, and it's ball 1. First time Bud Norris has faced the New York Mets in his career. It's a 2-ball, no strike count to Pat Misch. Oliver Perez is in the bullpen, hasn't pitched for several days for the New York Mets. Making a lot of money, but Misch occupies a spot in the rotation right now. Perez has just had all kinds of problems. What's that promotion all about, you know?
A little haircut and a bowl of soup, and away you go.
3-1 to count. Didn't realize we had a haircut promotion going tonight.
You could have got a little something, trim there before the road trip.
That's right. Have you ever had a haircut in front of 25, 30,000 people?
No.
Foul away by Misch.
Matter of fact, it's been quite a while since I've had a haircut.
Yeah, but that's the look.
Go for a shave.
Yeah, you could do that. Out into center field, and that is a looping single for Pat Misch. First hit by the Mets tonight. Chevy is a proud sponsor of youth baseball programs throughout the state of Texas. For more information on Chevy's commitment to youth baseball, visit ChevyTexasBaseball.com. Misch himself collects the first Mets hit in this 0-0 game. He's a base runner for Jose Reyes now. Reyes grounded to shortstop, leading off the game. Texas 0, Baltimore 0. They've played 6 in Baltimore. Lewis going for the Rangers, and Mattis for the Orioles. Reyes looks at ball 1. The Astros have the 5th best home winning percentage in the league since June 23rd. They're 17-9 since then at Minute Maid Park.
According to BaseballReference.com, the Milwaukee Brewers of 1900 were in the American League.
Oh,
but it's also calling it a Class A league. I'm not sure, so I don't know the genesis of this.
That goes back in left field, feeling for the wall, and he has it there at the base of the wall for out number 2.
Reyes, he's got a little pop. He's hit 8 home runs this year. Plenty of doubles and triples. He pinned Jason Michaels up against the wall with this one.
2 down, and it's Castillo next. Brad Mills' club is 152, losing 67. About about to embark upon a 10-game road trip. Tomorrow night in Florida, it's Jay Happ and Anibal Sanchez. We'll be on the air at 5:30 tomorrow with Astros Live. Bowman to Castillo, a former Florida Marlin himself, and a very good one. Saturday night, Wandy Rodriguez opposes Chris Volstad. Sunday afternoon, it's Nelson Figueroa and Ricky Nolasco.
Castillo very adept at getting on top of that high fastball. Good job over the years of really staying with that top hand approach and swinging down through the ball. Good high ball hitter. Took the ball as he did last time up in the zone and still managed to hit it hard on the ground or on a line.
Now it's 3-0 to him. Terrell will go out for a chat.
Just the one walk for Bud so far, in jeopardy of number 2 here, but there have been a lot of deep counts.
The Astros have a .545 all-time winning percentage against the Mets. That's their second best against any current National League club. Best is against Milwaukee. If they win tonight, Mills probably totally unaware of this. It'll be the 300th win for the Astros against the Mets in their histories. He's not unaware of many things, though. 3 balls and 1 strike to count. And one goes foul. 3-2 to Castillo with Pagan on deck. Mets are 18-18. Here at Minute Maid Park since it opened in 2000. In 2000, the Astros set the National League home run record with 249. They're going, and that's strike 3. Castillo started to back out of there and head up the first base line, but instead he struck out victim number 3 of Bud Norris in a scoreless game for 2.5. To you by Chevy. Well, with their families for a while and go on a long road trip, and they still have another 10-game trip coming up in September.
Yeah, come back from this long trip just for a 3-game set with the Cardinals. And then on to Arizona and Chicago, I believe.
Yes.
So really a 3-4, like a 6-city road trip. And Houston's just one of the stops along the way.
Yeah. Strike 1 to Humberto Quintero. 3 homers, 11 runs batted in, a .218 average. It's a 1-1 count to Q, who has started more games this year than he has any season of his major league career. This is his 56th start. Ground ball to Reyes is left. One out for Misch. We go to Patty Smith. Patty.
Well, guys, be sure to join the Astros on Wednesday, September 1st to honor a broadcasting legend. Before the Astros face off against the Cardinals at 1:05, Milo Hamilton will be honored for 65 years of broadcasting excellence. Enjoy $6.50 terrace deck seats. Visit Astros.com for tickets today. Bill?
What about that chair? He's got that great chair he sits in.
That might cost more than $6.50 to get near that thing.
Yeah, maybe we can get that thrown in. There is strike one to Bud Norris.
What happens when he's been broadcasting for 80 years? Tickets then $8?
$8, yes.
That's still a pretty good deal.
Yes, it stays below inflation.
Well, you know, they say inflation is coming. You got to be ready, Patty.
I can fork out the $8.
Bud Norris got something in his eye there. He backs away. He has 6 hits and 30 at bats. That's a .200 batting average for Bud. One RBI, has a couple of doubles in his last start that win over Pittsburgh. He went 2 for 2 with a sacrifice bunt. One of those hits was a double. So here's a guy who's hot. Balls 2 strikes.
And one of these days he's going to go deep.
Yeah. He runs pretty well.
And he'll be chirping big time.
1-2 the count. Ryan Moeller threw a 3-inning simulated game today.
It's interesting you talk about Oliver Perez out there in the Mets bullpen. Hasn't pitched in so long. He's kind of the anti-Misch. He's got a great arm, but doesn't have the feel or the command that Misch does. I'm sure Misch would say, if I only had that guy's arm, what I could do with the money I could make.
Well struck ball, foul. Well, Perez is making a lot of money, but we're shying away from using him. Last night, a taxing night on both these bullpens, though.
And more so for the Astros than the Mets, but anytime you play 14 innings, you're a little concerned the next day.
Broken bat, Reyes. Quick throw to get Norris. 2 outs. Reyes has a very strong arm. So Bud couldn't beat it out.
Bud runs well. He was giving it his best effort going down that line. Quick feet, strong arm of Reyes able to get him. Angel Hernandez, the home plate umpire, he once ejected the 7th inning stretch singer in Chicago. I think it was Steve McMichael, former Bear.
Really? What did he do?
You know how they get up and they sing game out of the ball game and they'll go Cubs. They'll throw a little editorializing in there. Apparently, he got after Angel. He didn't like some of the calls.
Well,
he got ejected.
You know, that's interesting because the umpire can eject anybody, not just players. He can throw anybody out of the ballpark.
What a power trip. So if he hears this, he can eject me just for saying that.
Right.
The fact that I brought that up.
We've had mascots ejected from games, flying around, doing things that were inappropriate.
In the minor leagues, I remember at least on one occasion, the guy who plays the public address guy would also play the music. He got ejected for playing Three Blind Mice after a bad call.
Well, that's not cool.
He is not regarded as a really good umpire when they do those player polls. He usually ranks near the bottom.
Two and two to Michael Bourne. Bounces one to second. Castillo backing up. Quick release over to first. Misch looks strong through 3. It's no score. regulars. Here are the leaders for the most strikeouts in a game this season. Brandon Morrow had 17. Bud Norris, Steven Strasburg, and Max Scherzer have all with 14 in a game this year.
Strasburg got in his debut, right?
Yeah. Morris just threw pitch number 65 of the game. It was ball one to Angel Pagan, who struck out earlier. Pat Misch has thrown only half the number of pitches, 32, that Bud Norris threw the first 3 innings. It's 2-0. With Wright and Davis to follow in the Mets' 4th inning. That was the Astros' longest game in terms of extra inning games of the year, with 14 innings last night. The Mets have played 5 extra inning games that have lasted at least 13. They had a 20 inning game against the Cardinals early this season. Strike, and that makes it 3-1. The Mets were 2 for 13 with runners in scoring position last night. And they've hit 119 in the last 9 games, men in scoring position. They have a runner at first here, Pagan drawing the leadoff walk. Meanwhile, let's join Patty Smith.
Well, I am sitting down here in Drayton McLean seats with University of Houston Athletic Director Mac Rhodes, and I know you're here for one reason and one reason only, right?
To watch the Astros win and support Michael Bourne. So he's been great, and he's terrific for certainly the university, but I also know for the Astros organization.
A lot of great stuff going on over at the University of Houston. You got football season just around the corner, and I know there's a lot of excitement looking at that football team specifically with the little Heisman talk going on.
Yeah, we're excited about it. You know, high expectations. We love that. You know, we've got somebody in Case Keenum as a Heisman candidate. You couldn't ask for a better person. The national attention that brings. You know, he was back in New York and spent time with Sports Illustrated and College Insiders and spent time with folks in Bristol. So he has been he's terrific, and it's great for our university. And I think our team, we've got a chance to have a really special season. Coach Sumlin and his staff are great, and you know, we're excited about it. Houston, you know, support us. Come on out to Robertson Stadium.
Well, absolutely. And here you are entering now your 2nd year as AD. How have you kind of settled in there, and do you like the direction things are going?
Well, I mean, it has been a whirlwind first year, and enjoyed every bit of it. We made a lot of changes, I think positive changes. It's been exciting. We love Houston. We love, you know, being here, and I think we can do some great things. The city is unbelievable. It's a great place to live and be part of, and you know, I think you know, the best of Houston athletics is to come.
All right. Well, thanks so much for joining us, and of course we'll be following the Cougars. You can catch us. Kevin Eschenfelder will be hosting a new show, Cougar Insider, which airs Thursdays at 5:30. We'll be following all the Cougars happening, so you can catch it right here on Fox Sports Houston, guys.
Thank you, Patty. That was a walk to Pagan, and then the pickoff throw hit him, and then he stole second on a very close call at second base for Rob Drake. Jeff Plum put that knee down, and it looked like Pagan might have gotten the hand to the bag on the back side of his knee. We couldn't really tell, but he was called safe on a very close play.
Hate the Drake.
Yeah.
I think you got it right. It looked like he got the back corner of the bag with his hand, Jeff dropping that knee down. That's why it's dangerous to go head first. Much easier to block a guy off the base when he's going head first, hands first, as opposed to spikes first.
Mm-hmm. Now David Wright has a 2-1 count.
So it looks like the hand gets in there before the tag is applied to that elbow. Close.
Really close.
Good camera work.
Is that Fox Mo? It looked like Fox Mo.
No, that's regular Mo.
Fly ball to right field line. Hunter Pence digging toward the corner. A tag at second, and that's not a catch. He banged into that railing. Pagan surely would have advanced to third had he caught it.
And the ball just continued to slice away from him. It looked like it was going to stay in play, but still a little ground there between the foul line and the wall. As far as he can go.
Now it's 2-2 to David Wright. Giants lead the Phillies 5-0 after 7 at Philadelphia behind Jonathan Sanchez. hand, and which well, right elbow area rather. And did he swing? That's the real question. Did it hit the bat? Let's see what the discussion is here with Angel Hernandez and Brad Mills.
Yeah, I think Angel's asking, did you think he swung? And I think Brad's saying, I think he hit the bat and not his arm. And maybe what Angel is waiting for is that Brad Mills say, yeah, maybe he swung, asked for some help. Almost looked like it hit the bat there, didn't it?
Yeah, that look to it.
Maybe he got both.
It might have glanced off the bat and into his elbow. That's quite possible.
Or the other way around. It looked like it wanted to hit the bat and went straight down.
Okay. Well, it's a hit batsman now, and runners at first and second. Nobody out for Ike Davis, who walked earlier.
Yeah, I think it went elbow back. So then off the bat and went straight down.
Oh, there we have it. Yeah. Bud turns towards second. Pagan getting back in. Pagan's steal was his 30th of the year.
Understandably, you would keep an eye on Pagan. He is a legitimate base stealer. But I think sometimes Bud gets too consumed with base runners. He's got a quick pickoff move, and he likes to use it. Sometimes he gets a little distracted, focusing too much on the base runner. He's got plenty on his plate right now with a dangerous hitter in the batter's box and a couple of men aboard. Reyes, Pagan, these guys like to run. It's not a good running situation here when you got a pitcher who's having a hard time dialing in the strike zone. You got a left-handed hitter up and nobody out. So if I'm Bud, I'm going to keep an eye on Pagan for sure, but not too much.
0-2 now. The Giants leading 5-0 after 7 at Philadelphia. They're trying to whittle the Phillies wild card lead over them down to 1 game. Beautiful night out there in Houston. Just gorgeous sky.
Pretty to look at. Just don't want to be out in it.
Now this is a very good vantage point right here. Both these clubs could be experiencing something close to a sunrise when they arrive at their destinations tomorrow morning. Probably about 4 a.m. for both the Mets and Astros. Mets going to Pittsburgh, Astros to Miami. Up the middle, it rolls off the mound to Sanchez. He steps on the bag, throws to Lee, who stretches and gets him with a double play.
Boy, big pitch, big play.
Well, they called the runner at second right safe. And now here's Brad Mills.
Rob Drake.
Yeah.
The second umpire to be visited by Brad Mills this inning, and he's looking for an explanation, I think, more than anything. I think Drake's just telling him that he didn't get the bag. I think Sanchez realized he was running out of time to get his double play, so he unloaded before he actually got the base.
Or maybe not. Like he stepped on the side of the base there. But that was not Rob Drake's perspective on things. Let's see. See?
It's hard to tell. It's really hard to tell.
Yeah. Chip Francoeur rolls one with the runner coming to the plate. Sanchez throwing to first, and the Mets draw blood, leading 1-0 as Francoeur gets the RBI, number 49 of the year. Pagan scoring and Wright taking third.
More than anything, it messed up my scoreboard.
Yeah.
I had this double play already in. I'm a mess now.
You're quick. It's nothing till you write it, JD.
That's right. Sanchez also had the option of flipping that ball to Blum. They could have gotten the double play that way. That's tough. You're kind of in that tweener zone.
It looked like he should flip it when he picked it up. Carter's the batter. The fly ball to center earlier. Carlos Lee, it's a foul ball. I don't know. If you're the second base umpire, you're They're on the back of the bag, so you really can't see if he steps on the inside corner of it, right?
He was in the inside.
Oh, okay.
He had a fairly decent angle. I think where the confusion light, when Angel or Angel first stepped to the base, he planted about 3 inches off the base, and then he kind of rolled his foot a little bit.
Yes.
That's where it got a little fuzzy.
Yeah, he slides his foot.
Initially, he's not particularly close, and I think that's what dictated the call. And then he made a little late move as he's unloading the ball, probably realizing he had not yet made contact. He tried to slide his foot over to get a piece of it as he made the throw, and it's still very difficult to determine whether he did or not. Made it a very difficult call for Drake to make.
Carter fouls it back. It's 1-2. Well, the Mets have scored a run here without the benefit of a hit. Had a walk, a steal, a hit batsman, a couple of ground balls. Cole Hamels gave up 5 runs in 5 innings to the Giants tonight. Quintero picks it out of the dirt.
Keep that backside down. He's starting to pop up out of there. Let's take a look at that play one more time and see if Sanchez would have been better off just shoveling this ball to Jeff Blum. And I'm going to say, yeah, that probably would have been the better play.
Barely got the out at first. It could have been no outs. He was so close at first base. That call could have gone the other way. Slap to Sanchez right. Throws on the run and safe at first. Run number 2 comes home. Well, these close calls are really aggravating the Astros now.
See if Brad Mills can argue for the cycle in this inning. I mean, if I'm Millsy, I'm going for it. Just try to make a little history, and then hopefully there'll be an issue with Joe West on a foul ball before the inning's over. Tough play. Sanchez, he's had some tough plays in this game already. For the most part, he's played a pretty solid shortstop. He gets rid of it in a hurry. Flip the coin.
Dan Bellino with a safe call. Carter gets an RBI infield single. Now Barajas in the air to left center. Jason Michaels waiting. And the Mets get 2 runs, 1 hit, and leave a man. Take a 2-0 lead in the 4th. Our Jack in the Box standings will show you the longest games by innings played this season. That Mets-Cardinals 20-inning game, April 17th, the longest. There was a 15-inning affair with the Giants and Rockies. Last night, a 14-inning game, and 6 other games have gone 14.
Speaking of the Rockies, they released Brad Hubb after the ball game last night in L.A.
Ball one to Angel Sanchez, who hit a warning track fly ball to center field in the first.
Somebody would snap him up, one of these contending teams.
Yeah, quite possible.
Not having a good year, but still a pretty young guy and has been a pretty productive player over the years.
Now back into 1-ball, 2-strike count.
Hitting 255 this year with 7 home runs, 280 lifetime hitter.
That's looped out to second base and caught by Castillo. 1 out for Pat Misch.
This is kind of a tortoise in the hare kind of matchup with Bud Norris. That go 95-mile-an-hour stuff, and Misch cutter in, change up away, 85-mile-an-hour fastball.
Well, Misch started his career in the big leagues 0-8 before he beat the Rockies on September 3rd of last season for his first major league win. Center fence takes ball one. Hunter doubled. One hopping it off the left field scoreboard wall back in the first for the Astros' only hit so far. Misch had 150 innings at AAA Buffalo. He led the International League this year. It's a 2-ball, no-strike count. He was 5th in ERA in the International League, 3.23. Won 11 games. Right-handers were hitting 243 off him in AAA.
Just not going to give in. You can't count on him giving in. That was a 2-0 change up there. It's been an effective pitch for him. 3 times already in this game, right-handed hitters have rolled over on that ball to Reyes. That right center approach for Hunter would be beneficial with this guy out there, and then just react in. He's quick enough to turn on the inside pitch.
Flare to the left. Carter in for out number 2. Yeah, that would probably be a very good approach.
I think a lot of hitting coaches use that as their basic philosophy anyway. Look away, react in, and then you get a guy who's not a real hard thrower. He throws that good changeup down and away. I think that really makes sense to think along those lines. Just look for the ball away, and then if he comes in on you, trust your quick hands to be able to make the adjustment.
Carlos Lee hit a fly ball to center in the first inning.
That's Randy Johnson out there. I don't think you can think that.
Yeah. Mets starters have thrown 7 innings or more in 8 of their last 9. And during those last 9 games, their collective ERA is 1.58, but they're only 3-3. Foul back. 2 balls and a strike.
I kind of like that Rube Braudel stuff. I think we need more of that in baseball today. I want to see the modern manager go, hey, give me 6 innings tonight, you can go fishing.
Yeah.
Take yourself a little golf vacation for 4 or 5 days.
Now, that guy was a real character. A friend of mine wrote a play about him, Rube Braudel.
Not so many Rubes anymore in the game.
No. There's Rube Marquardt. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Rube Walker.
Rubik's Cube.
It's a soft fly ball to center field. Pagan with a catch. It's a 1-2-3-4. Misch and the Mets. The Astros 2-0. brought to you by your Texas Ford dealers, by AT&T, and by Gullo Automotive.
Must be windy out.
Now look at those flags.
Yeah.
Don't we wish. There's strike one to Pat Misch leading off the 5th inning. 2-0 Mets. Misch got the first hit for the Mets in the 3rd. Bud Norris paints that one, and it snowballs 2 strikes. Bud on a 3-game winning streak. Ties his career high. If he wins this game, he becomes the only Astros starter with a 4-game winning streak this season.
Well, by golly, better get him some runs.
Strikeout looking. That's number 4.
He's a little off his pace from that last game. Stuff is good, though. Not quite as dialed in. And, well, I probably really shouldn't say that. I think in that last game, it was the case of the Pirates were swinging at so many balls out of the zone.
Yeah.
He didn't have to throw the ball over very much. And that's tonight showing a little bit better approach.
Ball 1 to Reyes. Reyes 0 for 2 in this game. Baltimore just came up with 4 in the home 7th inning to lead Texas 4-0. Now it's the bottom of the 8th. New Rangers ownership making a big splash in Arlington, slashing prices.
That doesn't make sense, Brownie. When you're winning, you're supposed to raise your prices. The product is good. Take advantage of it. What are you thinking up there?
I don't know. 3 balls, no strikes. Buck Showalter has created a stir in Baltimore. The team has pitched a whole lot better since he took over, for whatever reason. 3 balls, 1 strike. Shut out that Rangers bunch have done a nice job. Michael Bourne's waiting in center. 2 outs for Bud Norris. Luis Castillo will follow.
Rangers have won just 3 of their last 10 ball games. Dropped 3 in a row. Tampa swept them, so getting beat tonight by Baltimore 4-0. Backsliding a little bit, but still with a very comfortable 8-game lead over both Los Angeles and Oakland.
Yeah. Angels have lost 3 in a row. So it's not as if they're able to capitalize. There's strike 1 to Castillo.
Padres just swept a 4-game series from the Cubs in Chicago.
Did you see Ozzie Guillen's rant about Jim Thome?
I heard that he ranted.
Oh, yeah.
I don't even bother to read his rants anymore.
Yeah, too frequent. Norris with the toss to Carlos Lee. He has a 1-2-3 5th inning, and it's 2-0 Mets.
nights. Be sure to catch all the action of Houston Astros baseball with dynamic pricing tickets. Dynamic pricing allows for ticket prices to change in select seating sections based upon supply and demand. Prices will fluctuate with deals up to 50% off of face value. Visit Astros.com often to check current prices of dynamic pricing seats. Bill?
Thanks, Patty. There was ball 1-2. Jason Michaels. He grounded out to short in the second inning. Now this ground ball goes to David Wright's backhand side. And that's 11 straight set down by Pat Misch. AT&T has some trivia for us tonight. It's on its way right now, JD.
All right, here we go.
Take a little while for it to move on in. Who is the only Met to lead the National League in runs batted in a season?
I don't know.
Kevin McReynolds do that? Ball one, Chris Johnson. He struck out in the second inning on a curveball.
Good guess. Keith Hernandez, Kevin Mitchell.
Yeah.
Mike Piazza, probably not. Catcher, probably had some days off. Strawberry. Remember Straw leading the league.
No. Pretty good question. Foul away, and it's a 1-ball, 2-strike count.
I think Cleon Jones might have led the league in hitting one year. We're awfully close to it.
He had some good years, yeah.
Probably not Don Hahn.
No.
Or Al Weiss.
No. Felix Millan. Ground ball foul, keeps it at 1-ball, 2-strike. Angels lead Boston 5-1. They're in the top of the 7th inning.
More recent vintage. Beltran's had a couple 100-plus RBI seasons. Carlos Delgado. So basically what we're doing is naming as many Mets as we can.
Let's name the Mets.
Name the Mets. Name the Mets.
Remember one time we were in Shea Stadium, we interviewed Mr. Met.
Yeah, that was one of the high points in my broadcasting career, as a matter of fact.
Really was one of the best interviews we've ever had.
David Wright, a pretty good RBI man. Mr. Met, yeah. He wouldn't come out of character either. He just kept nodding his big head.
That's all he did. Just nodded. I think we asked him if he was from another planet, and he nodded yes. 2-2 the count.
We didn't ask him to interview him either. He invaded our booth.
Tapped out to second base. Castillo on to first.
The hitters do not have an answer for Mr. Misch.
We have an answer for AT&T trivia, though. The RBI leader, the only man to do it.
Hojo.
Howard Johnson.
Did we mention Hojo?
No, we didn't. No.
We did the other night, though.
We blew it.
He was so good. And a restaurant named after him.
If we mentioned it 2 nights ago, does it count as answering the question? Okay, we got it. Jeff Blum, the batter.
1991, Howard Johnson. How about that?
That one escaped us. Blummer hit a P to third base. David Wright caught it. Little tap here. Barajas throws him out. 13 straight retired by Misch. 2-0 Mets through 5. Coors Light freeze cam. The Mets lead it 2-0. And there's a little ground ball, and there's the hustle of Carter beating the play at first base. The Coors Light freeze cam brought to you by the Frost Brewed Coors Light. He beats the throw from Sanchez.
The bio, pretty good stretch there.
Yeah.
Got a little Gumby in.
It's 2-0 Mets after 5. Bud Norris has to hang in there for a while, waiting for run support. Pagan started the trouble for Bud in the 4th inning, drawing a walk, stealing a base, and scoring that. And thinking small ball here. That's the ball 1 as he shortens up. White Sox lead 5-0 at Minnesota. They're in the bottom of the 5th inning, and Mark Burley's pitching a gem.
So, the Ozzie Guillen rant, what was that all about?
Well, they were asking him, the media people, about Jim Thome, who was with the White Sox last few years, and now he's with the Twins, and he beat them with a last at-bat home run. And I wish he would have kept Jim Thome. Sanchez in. Good play on the run here.
Angel throws out Angel.
Yeah. And he just went off, but he said, sure, I'll take the blame for it. I didn't want him around. You know, that kind of thing.
Yeah, kind of sarcastic.
Right.
Sanchez has been a busy man tonight. Well played to get a speedy pick on.
David Wright, he's 0 for 1, hit by a pitch and scored a run. So that was a close call. Was it hit by the pitch or not? And then those plays at first and second were close. A lot of things really mushroomed in that 4th inning on Bud Norris.
And went walk, hit, batter, and then 3 consecutive ground balls to short, and the Mets had 2 runs.
Could have been a double play if Sanchez had been credited with stepping on the base. So those little things really spun out of control a little bit for Bud there, but still he's only allowed 2 hits and 2 runs through 5 1/3. It's just an ugly inning because the Mets didn't hit the ball hard, but they got 2 runs. 2 hopper here.
They won in the 14th last night without a base hit.
Yeah.
The Mets can do a lot without getting hit. Very resourceful bunch.
Yes, they are. 2 outs, and now it's Davis. Davis has walked and grounded out. Well, the White Sox really need that one tonight at Minnesota because they have now fallen behind by 5 games. Twins have won 6 in a row as the White Sox have dropped 4 straight. This fly ball brings Jason Michaels over toward the left field corner, but the fans get that one. And Ozzie Guillen pointed out that Thome is hitting much better this year than he had with the White Sox. He's earned a lot of kudos for his work.
See where Lance went on the DL.
Yeah, did you see the sprained ankle? See the highlight on that?
I did not.
It was ugly. Yeah, the pitcher for Kansas City, his foot was right in the middle of the base, and Lance stepped on it and rolled over. And then he literally rolled over after he crossed the bag, did kind of a forward roll. Went down pretty hard. No balls, 2 strikes.
Hang in there, Puma.
Yeah, that's tough. You know, we talked about it regarding Pedro Feliz. Same thing with Lance. Sometimes you get 1 or 2 big hits in a pennant race like that. It doesn't matter what your numbers look like. That might be the difference between that club going to postseason or winning a postseason game or series. That's the beauty of being in a race. And of course, a lot of people around here think it would be very interesting if the Phillies and the Yankees met in the World Series and Lance is facing Roy.
And or Lidge.
Yeah, there's another one. Two balls, 2 strikes.
The Yankees in pretty good shape to make the postseason. I mean, they're in a dogfight for the division lead with Tampa Bay, tied going into play today. Red Sox still in the hunt, though, so there is an outside chance the Yankees could end up missing the playoffs altogether. And then the other thing is, would Lance be on the postseason roster?
Right.
That's the other thing.
Sure is. A lot of talent on that Yankee club. 3-2. It's now August 19th, and those rosters, if you're talking about postseason, teams like to get players on their roster before the end of August to be eligible for postseason play. There's another way to do it, but that's the easiest way to do it.
All players on the roster or on the disabled list are eligible to be put on the postseason roster. So he'll be eligible because he'll be on the DL at the time when September 1 rolls around.
Quintero caught this shot. Seen a lot of injuries on this homestand. We saw the umpire injured when the bat hit him in the head. Players limping off the field. There's a drive to left center for Jason Michaels for the third out. And Bud Norris is keeping his club right in the mix. 2-0 Mets in the sixth inning.
Cancer Center making cancer history. 2004, 3 home run seventh from the Killer Bees. That's right, Biggio, Berkman, and Brooklyn propelled the Astros to a 12-10 win over the Phillies. First major league win for Chad Qualls.
Popped up. First pitch to Quintero in the air. Ike Davis crosses back over, and it's a fair ball. Out number one. 14 straight set down by Pat Misch.
He works here in the sixth inning with one out, having thrown 56 pitches. Talk about in the rocking chair.
Bud Norris was trying to get him out of that chair. Bud hit a ground ball to shortstop at the third. Broken bat.
One strikeout for Misch. One hit allowed. A lot of comfortable offers so far tonight.
Ball to Bud Norris. Florida beat Pittsburgh at Pittsburgh 4-2. Sanabia the winner. Mahalam lost it. Nunez got his 28th save. 2 balls, no strikes. The fish will head for home soon, and tomorrow night it's Jay Happ and Anibal Sanchez. Sanchez 9-8, Happ 3-1. McCutchen hit another long ball tonight, his 12th.
I won last night.
Yeah, he sure did. Matt Latos won his 13th for San Diego, beating the Cubs 5-3. Ground ball third right, comes up. Yeah, he softened his whole body as that ball took a hop on him.
Yeah, the Astros in this series have hit in a lot of hard outs. I mean, they're not getting a lot of good swings at Misch, but they've hit a few balls hard. Can't find any holes. A couple of deep drives to center field in the first inning. Blummer lined out to right. back in the second. They ought to try somebody besides David Wright. He seems like he's up for it.
Yeah.
And in his direction, he gobbles up.
Michael Bourne is 0 for 2. President of the University of Houston is here tonight. He bunts. And Ike Davis is there for the third out. That's 16 straight retired by Misch. 2-0 Mets through 6. For success. Bud Norris has kept the Mets from hitting the ball hard. And as you see, he's made some really good pitches, but they've scored a couple of runs in an inning, fourth, in which they did not hit the ball hard. And they got 2 runs on 1 hit in that inning. BPA Compass brings you up to date on a 2-0 ball game. Bud Norris now moving to the 7th inning, and it's Reyes leading it off. He's 0 for 3.
And Bud at 108 pitches, so action in the Astros bullpen now in support of him. Looks like the newcomer, Abad, up there.
Yeah. Endo Abad. There's strike 1 to Jeff Francoeur. He is 0 for 2. Got an RBI, and they ground out to short. One ball and 1 strike. Ryan Mattis, Koji Uehara combined on a shutout of the Texas Rangers. 4-0 Baltimore. One almost got it. 2-1. Colby Lewis took the loss.
Running fastball in. It makes it a little tougher for those right-handed hitters to dive to cover that outside corner.
Backhanded Sanchez. Good over the top throw. 1 out. He's had a very busy night at short.
Seven plays. I've got him for.
Yeah. Chris Carter drove in the 2nd run for the Mets on that infield hit to the right of Sanchez. He's 1 for 2. Cincinnati and Arizona just getting underway out west. Saunders going for Arizona tonight.
Hey, fire in the hole, Cliff.
Wow, that's fouled right back to our left, and Cliff almost got a shot at that, but had to keep both hands on his camera.
Might be the first one this year up here in the booth.
I think it is the first one. Keith wound up with it. But of course, he's under great pressure to toss it down to one of the fans below us. 1 ball, 1 strike. So they're passing it to you, JD. They want you to make the toss.
Oh, I'm going to keep it. Kidding me? A big league baseball?
What a great guy.
This is nice and soft. This is... Man, this ball's not going to go anywhere.
1 and 2.
Oh, that one right down the middle. It's a sponge.
We could put Phil Boudreau over at first, and you could make a pickoff throw to him. Well, you want a little competition. They have to vie for your choice.
Hey, I could run for mayor.
Well, you could run for mayor. Yeah, you'd be elected tonight. On the
pressure. Yeah, everybody wanted that ball.
That's a lot of pressure. You could run on the souvenir party candidacy. You made that little guy very happy tonight.
The guy next to him's not particularly happy, though.
No. Maybe we'll get another one in 3 years. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
I like that kind of pressure. Like that whole peanut thing we do. Very disappointed at the end when we run out.
They are. Line drive, Hunter Pence to his right. 2 down. So Bud Norris dinged for those 2 runs in the 4th inning, but he is really not giving up any hard hit balls at all in this game.
That ball pretty well struck, but Carter should not be overly frustrated. He got an RBI and a ground ball to short last time.
26,271 the paid attendance. Rod Barajas the batter. He's 0 for 2, so that puts the Astros over the 30 million mark in the history of this ballpark in the 10th year. Actually, the 11th season. The crowds have been great. It's been a tremendous place to watch baseball for the last 11 years. Average this year 28,320. That's up the chute, and Michael Bourne watches Jeff Blum get underneath it. We're out number 3, and that's 10 straight retired by Norris. Mets 2, Astros nothing in the 7th. Energy showing you the Mets with 2 runs on 1 hit in the 4th inning. And Pat Misch has been dazzling. 6 innings, 1 hit, no runs, no walks, 1 strikeout. He gave up a 2-out double to Hunter Pence in the 1st inning. Since then, he has set down 16 in a row.
His last major league win was against the Astros last year, right?
Yes. And now we have a new left fielder. He started out in center. That is Pagan, and Carlos Beltran is in the game in center field now. Pagan has moved to left. Chris Carter out of the game. And Beltran in center. There's strike 1 to Sanchez. Sanchez 0 for 2. And he behind 0-2 in the count with Pence in lead to follow as the Astros try to get something going here. They've had only the one base runner on the Pence double. And the curveball produces a check swing. The appeal went to first base. There's the call by Dan Bellino. Pat Misch with a career ERA of 5 coming into this game. 3 wins, 11 losses. Has a 2-0 lead and has thrown 65 pitches through 6 innings. Seventh round choice in 03. 3-4 last year with a 4.48 ERA with the Giants and the Mets. Didn't get any run support last time out, losing 4-0 to the Phillies, throwing 106 pitches in that one. So he should have plenty left in the tank.
Well, he has been Tom Glavine tonight.
It's a rip foul, still 1-2 to Sanchez. The Astros have scored 7 runs in the first 3 games of this series. So their offense has hit a downturn, as inevitably you knew it would. They're still averaging over 5 runs per game, second in the league since the All-Star break. That's punched on a line into right field. Sanchez stays in and goes the other way with it for hit number 2 for the Astros.
Misch made a pretty good pitch, but Sanchez did a nice job reaching out and punching that ball to right field. I've just got to be willing to give in and take what the pitcher gives to you. Don't try to do too much.
That's a start. Hunter Pence whacked a double off the left field wall in the first inning and hit a fly ball to left in the fourth. The Astros have been blank 11 times this year. Broken bat fly ball left field line. That will loop in for a hit. Sanchez will hold at second. Pagan makes a good play. And it's back-to-back singles. That time the bat broke for Hunter Pence.
Talk about the frustrations of Bud Norris in that 2-run fourth inning that the Mets had. Now Misch getting a little taste of it himself. Made a good pitch to Sanchez. Made a good pitch to Pence. Got in on him with a cutter. Broke his bat. But Hunter able to find some green space out there. Pagan playing very deep and toward the cutout in left field. Could not run that down.
Dan Warthen, the pitching coach, is out for a visit with the bullpen getting busy. Manny Acosta just starting to crank it up. This will buy him some time. Acosta got his save last night, his first of the year, with a hitless inning. So Jerry Manuel can call on him without worry that he's tired. Pitches for Misch. Now Carlos Lee twice his fly to center. Beltran shades about 4 steps toward right center for Lee. Sanchez draws some attention. Now the Astros about hit the Mets 3-2 in this game. It's going to be a 3-run homer for Carlos Lee and a 3-2 lead for the Astros.
Following form with many of the games on this homestand. The Astros trailing early. A little late game heroics. A couple of soft singles, but nothing soft about that swing of the bat.
Number 16 for El Caballo, giving him 65 runs batted in, and what a time for it to give his club the lead.
About that after retiring 16 in a row. Single, long ball.
Now it has turned dramatically. And with Lyon loading, the Astros get the 1-run lead. Misch is due to lead off the Mets' 8th inning.
But Norris is done too.
That blister rearing its problematic little area there on the right hand. And it's 3-2 Houston. Bottom of the 7th inning, nobody out. Back in a moment. El Caballo is 16th of the year. And he hit that one high to left field to make it 3-2 Astros.
Misch has done a real good job moving the ball in and out tonight, but that cutter stayed right over the fat part of the plate.
Well, Lee hit his 4th homer, and now he has 17 runs batted in his last 20 games. So Misch departs and cannot be a winning pitcher. It turned around that quickly for him. 6 innings of work, giving up 4 hits, 3 runs, no walks, and a strikeout. Jason Michaels will be facing the relief pitcher, Manny Acosta. Acosta got the save last night. 2-1 is his record. A 3.32 ERA accompanies that. He faces Michaels, who was grounded out twice. And a ball 1.
Long, lean right-hander, 6'4", about $175. Fastball, curveball, straight changeup are his pitches.
Needed only 5 pitches last night to earn that save. It's 1-1. That was the first save for Acosta since May 20th, 2008 with Atlanta against the Mets. This one heads for left field. And Pagan is underneath. 1 out.
The Astros grab the lead. Now the question becomes, how do you hold it? What's the plan for the bullpen tonight?
They'd like a bigger lead.
It's like Wilt Lopez is cranking it up.
Brad Mills had said he would like to stay away from using Wilton Lopez, but Wilton just loves the idea of pitching every day. Chris Johnson is struck out and grounded out.
Like to stay away from him, but it's a 1-run game, and Lopez has been so good. If he tells you he's available and ready, so yeah, I'm good to go, Skip. It's hard not to use him.
Very hard
in a game like this because you don't know what tomorrow will bring.
1 ball and 1 strike. It's going to bring some heat, we know that, and maybe some rain and a lot of bleary-eyed guys in Florida. Better get this one if you can get it. One ball, 2 strikes to CJ. Costa was recalled from Buffalo, and he's pitched well in the 11 games since he came to the Mets. Signed by the Yankees in '98 originally. It's 2-2. He's from Cologne, Panama. He was claimed on waivers by the Mets from the Braves. Foul off the umpire, Angel Hernandez.
A couple of good ones tonight. So the other Angel Hernandez story that was pretty funny was, I'm not sure what year it was, a couple years back, he ejected Mariano Duncan from the game. Mariano was the first base coach. And so Mariano went out and started screaming at him and threw his hat on the ground. And then his teammates kind of pulled him out into the dugout. So his hat was still there. So Angel flipped the hat up into the stands. He gave away Duncan's hat.
Oh.
And the next day, Mariano brought out the lineup card and he had his hat taped to his head.
That's good stuff.
Let's try to get him now.
Johnson's down on strikes. 2 outs for Acosta. Relievers did a whale of a job last night.
Well, then Bobby Parnell throwing 102 miles an hour.
That was noteworthy. We were hearing tonight that one pitch he threw was clocked at 102.5, and that was the fastest in the majors this year. Jeff Blum is lined at third. Hit a little dribbler. The catcher threw him out. Batting right-handed. Now is a left-handed hitter taking strike one. Last night he hit that home run off the knuckleballer R.A. Dickey in the 9th inning. That was his first 189 at bats. It's 1-1. Jeff filling in again tonight at second base for Jeff Keppinger. Last 4 starts for Blummer now have been at second base. He started at every infield position again this year. Liner caught by Castillo, and it's 3 runs, 3 hits. A Sanchez single, a Pitts broken bat looper, a 3-run homer by Lee. 3-2 Houston after 7. On Homer. This call to the bullpen is brought to you by Verizon Wireless, bringing in Wilton Lopez. And he has really been taxed on this homestand, but the results are so good. As you mentioned, JD, it's hard to stay away from using him with a 1-run lead.
No, and there's been no indication that his stuff is suffering from all the work he's had. He looks as sharp as ever, and he has been on quite a roll. For the year now, he has pitched 52 times. He's 4-0 with a 2.94 ERA. He's walked just 5 men in 52 innings. He hasn't given up a run in a good long while. July 18th, I believe, the last time he's been scored upon.
15 games ago. Josh Thole is the pinch hitter here for the pitcher Acosta.
And in a season when there's been any number of remarkable rookie performances, his a little bit beneath the radar because he's not a starting pitcher, he's not an offensive player, so people are not really aware of what he's doing. But the hitters around the league fully aware of what this kid's got.
2 balls, no strikes. This is the 10th game of this 10-game homestand, and Lopez is appearing in his 7th game of the 10. Thole looks at a strike. That makes it 2-1. He's the only remaining left-handed hitter on the bench. Beltran, the switch hitter, has already been put into the game in center field. And Martinez was sent out before this game. The Mets have 3 catchers, so they are afforded the luxury of using Thole to pinch hit if they choose. Bouncer deflected, and here's Sanchez from behind second, and Carlos Lee with a stretch. That deflection just took off. Sanchez was there to play it.
Is it just me, or is it a given when Wilton comes into the game, the first hitter is always going to hit the ball back to him?
That's been happening.
That's kind of the norm here lately. Gets a piece of this one, slows it down a little bit. Sanchez takes care of the rest. Good stretch by the big fella.
That was raftery-like. 1 down now, and it's Reyes.
Send it in, Jerome.
Reyes is 0 for 3. Mets have been held to 2 hits by Bud Norris, who was outstanding tonight. That's strike 1 for Lopez. Bud in 7 innings, allowing 2 hits, 2 runs, walking 2, fanning 4, and he hit a batter. Bud's in line for win number 6 of the year. No balls, 2 strikes.
Can get you a couple of different ways. The sinker, a very good pitch, but he can climb the ladder with a mid-90s fastball. Good changeup. Throw sliders to the right-handed hitters. Lefties primarily fastball, changeup.
That's line to center and in for a hit for Reyes. He's been a hitting machine in this series. That's a 6-game hitting streak now for Reyes. 4 hits last night for Reyes. He's aboard now, trailing by 1 with the speed to steal, and Castillo the batter.
You have 2 guys you hate to see in a 1-run game. The power guy, the guy that with 1 swing of the bat can put a run on the board, and then the speed guy like Reyes, who once he gets on can create all kinds of problems with his legs.
It's the 8th hit in the 4-game series for Reyes. Castillo, 2 groundouts and a strikeout looking.
If he doesn't go in the first couple of pitches, count on cue to take a shot at trying to pick him off down there. Lopez will take the first shot.
Lopez threw 20 pitches last night. Worked a couple of innings, giving up 1 hit, no runs. He came in with a score tied 2-2 in the 11th.
Scoreless streak, the longest of any relief pitcher currently active.
Lopez got his first major league save Tuesday night with a scoreless 9th inning. Off the mid of Quintero, and that will get Reyes to second. He takes a big turn there, and that could be a major problem for the Astros here. Ball 1.
Oh, that's a freebie. That pitch was right down the middle. It's a cross-up situation or what? Pass ball. If he hangs on to it, he's probably got a strike.
Well, now pass ball, runner at second, 1 out, and the pitch was ball 1. Pagan on deck. 1-1 for Wilton Lopez. Two balls and a strike for the 27-year-old from Nicaragua. Lopez, one of 7 Astros rookies to make 50 appearances in a season since 2000. Jeff Fulcino had 61 last year. Lopez comes after it, looks the runner back, throws him out. 2 outs. Just a little tap from Castillo. Now Lopez has had some plays to make too on this homestand, scrambling off the mound. He had a couple plays in the 9th inning Tuesday when he got that first save. Pagan is 0 for 2 with a walk, a steal, and a run scored in that 2-run Mets 4th. Boston batting bottom of the 9th. The Angels leading at 7-2. David Ortiz hit his 27th for the Red Sox. Lopez would be due up second for the Astros in the bottom of the inning. Line to Sanchez. In the 8th, no runs ahead. A runner stranded in scoring position. 3-2 Astros.
TexasBaseball.com. Bottom of the 8th here at Minute Maid Park. Astros looking to build on their 3-2 lead. Bill?
Nothing but close games in this 4-game series. Thanks, Patty. And the Astros have come from behind in their last 8 wins. This is the 17th game in a row in which the Astros have trailed at some point. They'd like to build on this 3-2 lead. Facing lefty Pedro Feliciano, who leads the league with 65 appearances, JD.
Yeah, a left-hander who typically comes in for just a batter or 2. We'll see how Jerry Manuel uses him tonight. Top-down delivery, fastball, curveball, slider, and a changeup.
Pitched 1/3 of an inning Monday night. Gets a strike from Quintero there, and it's a 1-ball, 1-strike count. Came in with the game tied 1-1 in the 8th inning. And got an important bases loaded out on Jason Castro. Wound up with a win. Jason Bourgeois on deck, and Quintero bunts, but it goes foul. 1-2. So the bullpen is busy for Houston with Lopez about to leave for a pinch hitter. Brandon Lyon is working for the Astros. Brad Mills Club making come from behind wins in the late innings routine on this homestand. Little number rolls foul. Still 1-2 to Quintero. Igarashi is warming up for the Mets, who have Wright, Davis, and Francoeur due up in the ninth. Just off the end of the bat. Stays at a 1-2 count for Quintero. Jerry Manuel's club is 17-23 in one-run games. Has lost 14 of 20 on the road. Pat Misch in 6 innings allowed 4 hits and 3 runs with no walks and a strikeout. Acosta 1 inning, no hits, no runs, no walks, 1 strikeout.
What a wacky game this can be. Boy, Misch having the game of his life. His 1 base runner until the 7th. A couple of soft hits and then 1 big one, and all of a sudden he's on the hook for a loss.
Almost got him on the right foot. 2-2 to Quintero. Feliciano last year had 88 appearances to lead the National League. He's from Puerto Rico.
Usually Jerry Manuel would bring him in to face a tough lefty in a big situation, but the way the bullpen was used last night changes the dynamics a little bit. And if Manuel had started this inning with a righty, maybe he would have gotten Castro, or maybe Wallace coming off the bench to pinch hit, and maybe he'd prefer not to see that. It's Feliciano's chances against Quintero. Jason Bourgeois will be next.
That's into the crowd. Well, in this 4-game series now, the Astros have scored a total of 10 runs. The Mets have scored 11. Quintero continues the battle at 3 balls, 2 strikes.
Waving the white flag over there in the Astros dugout. Enough, no mas.
White Sox are pounding Minnesota 11-0 in the bottom of the 8th at Target Field. Alexi Ramirez hit his 14th to add to Paul Konerko's 31st.
On the board.
There you go. There's a shot on the ground into left field. What a battle, and Quintero wins it. Hustling up the line, taking the big turn on a leadoff single in the home 8th. Now Jason Bourgeois reads the signs of Dave Clark.
That's pretty good AB there. Rattle your teammates a little bit and then get a knock.
Very good.
That's a pretty good trip to the plate.
Bourgeois studied the signs of his third base coach. Now let's see what he's been instructed to do with Michael Bourne on deck. Mets set up for a double play. And he looks at ball 1.
Yeah, I'm sure there's something. Well, why isn't he bunting here? He could bunt here. It wouldn't be a terrible play. Well, here's one of the reasons why you don't bunt here. You get a bunt down, so you got 1 out. You say it's a successful sacrifice. You got 1 out. You got Q on second. Now you got Michael hitting against a tough lefty. Michael's really struggled against lefties this year. He's going to bunt for a hit here, and that's okay. Wright was back. So your odds aren't good there. And then if Michael doesn't reach, now you got Sanchez up with 2 outs trying to drive that run in. So game situation sometimes makes you think bunt, but you have to think about the personnel and what else is going on. For whatever reason, the bunt to me is the most overhyped play in baseball. People are always screaming, you got to play small ball, you got to manufacture.
1-2. As you pointed out, when he did try to bunt a pitch ago, that was for a base hit.
And if you look at those tables of run expectancy, you got a better chance of scoring a run when nobody out and a man on first than you do with 1 out and a man on second. So why would you prefer that latter scenario?
Bourgeois takes a look at it. It's 2 balls, 2 strikes for Jason. He started 10 games. He's 1 for 6 on this homestand. Feliciano has a 2-2 pitch coming. He'll make that pitch again. Kansas City 3, Cleveland nothing. They're in the bottom of the 7th at Kansas City. Astros have 5 hits to the Mets 3. Dante Pastorini is here tonight.
He was just telling somebody to go long right there. He was calling it audible.
He was. Line shot right field. Quintero will stop at second on the pinch single by Bourgeois.
Now, this is a situation where I like the bunt.
Sure.
Michael up there hitting against his tough lefty, get a bunt down, advance 2. If you can get it down, and then you'd have 2 chances to drive in 2 with Sanchez and Pence. A shot of Jerry Manuel letting his infielders know how he wanted to defend this bunt. Down a run. In the bottom half of the 8th, they would love to nail Q there at third base. They can play this pretty aggressively, I would think.
Ryan and Davis pitching in at the corners. The bunt. Fielded by Feliciano. He throws to first to Castillo, and it's a sacrifice for Bourne. Quintero to third, Bourgeois to second, 1 out.
That is a great example right there of why Brad Mills is trying to get Michael Bourne to bunt for hits more often. Here he's dropping down a sacrifice bunt when everybody in the ballpark knows he's bunting, and look how close it is. And he squares early. He's not trying to deceive anybody. It looks like a routine play, but it's anything but routine down there at first base with his wheels.
5th sacrifice for Bourne. Manuel out. Sanchez the batter. Pence on deck. New pitcher coming in with the score. Houston 3, Mets 2. Back in a moment. At second and third, 1 out after the Michael Bourne bunt, following singles by Quintero and Bourgeois. Now right-hander Ryota Igarashi comes in, and he is 0-1 with the Mets in 22 games. His ERA is 7.91. He also has been at AAA Buffalo for them this year, JD.
And up and down between the big club and the AAA team in Buffalo. At this level, things have not gone all that well for the righty from Japan. He's 31 years of age. 5'11", about 200 pounds.
He was signed as a free agent by the Mets to a 2-year, $3 million deal last December after pitching for the Yakult Swallows. Jerry Manuel has been calling on the lefty Takahashi earlier in this series, but this is the first we've seen of Igarashi, who was promoted from AAA Buffalo a week ago. He was 2-1 with 2 saves and a 3.77 ERA at AAA this year. Angel Sanchez singled in the 7th inning to start the go-ahead rally. On a 1-2 pitch, he punched the line drive to right field. Then he rode home on the Carlos Lee 3-run homer. Infielders move in. And they're playing about halfway with Reyes and Castillo right now. And strike one.
Quintero bluffing his start down the line, trying to rattle Igarashi a little bit. Yeah, the infielders in the middle don't have to come all the way in because the cue's not real fast. So they feel like with a medium pace ground ball, they're still going to have a chance to throw him out at home if he goes.
Strikeout breaking pitch, and it's 0-2 to Sanchez. Pence on deck. Igarashi spent some time on the 15-day disabled list with a strained left hamstring.
Just try to play a little pepper with the center fielder here for Sanchez with 2 strikes. Choke up a little bit, spread the legs, just use the hands. You don't have to hit it hard. You can't afford to punch out, though. Try to punch it through that infield. It's over that infield.
1-2.
Giddy up on that heater.
95. He had Tommy John surgery in 07. Igarashi, 31 years old. Pitched in more than 500 games in Japan over an 11-year period in the Central League. And he gets a strikeout.
Good effort there for Angel. You can see the frustration on his face. He needs a pick-me-up from Hunter Pence. The way he's been swinging it, do better.
Well, Hunter doubled off the left field wall in the 1st inning. The one hopper there, and then he had a broken bat single to left in the 7th. That was right before Carlos Lee gave the Astros the lead with a 3-run homer. And now insurance runs would be welcome.
Now back up, getting his final warm-up tosses in. Yeah, he'd like a little breathing room to work with. Mets have 4, 5, 6 coming up in the top of the 9th.
It's 1-1. Been a struggle for the Astros this entire series against the Mets pitching staff. A hit right here could take it to 5-2. And that would be a huge difference compared to the 1-run lead. One and two.
Got to force this guy into the strike zone. He's had some control problems this year. Walks and 19 in the 3rd innings prior to this outing.
Pence is hitting .300 with runners in scoring position. Foul away, and fans will get this one. Kyle Davies of Kansas City has a shutout going over Cleveland, 3-0 in the bottom of the 7th. Carlos Lee's on deck. Reds and Diamondbacks scoreless after 3 in Arizona. Igarashi strikes out Pence, and he does a big-time job for the Mets, who trail 3-2 with the 9th inning ahead with Wright, Davis, and Francoeur.
over the Mets. And our intern here, Erica, it's her very last night. So on our last night, we are going to let her read our last promo for the night. Erica, take it away.
Traveling this season? Take the Astros with you. Subscribe to MLB.tv today to see every Astros game live on demand on your computer. Pair MLB.com's At Bat 2010 with your MLB.tv subscription and watch games live and on demand on the iPhone, iPod Touch, and iPad. Visit Astros.com for details.
Great job. I think she might be taking my job soon, guys.
Oh, she's pushing hard for it. Nice work, Erica. Good luck to you. Ninth inning, and Brandon Lyon has it with a one-run lead, 3-2 Astros, JD.
And with Brandon Lyon last night, he was a weeble. He wobbled, but he didn't fall down. He gave up a couple of hits and a walk, but most importantly, no runs. And that's the mission here. One-run ball game. Fun stuff.
4, 5, 6 hitters. David Wright is 0 for 2. He was hit by a pitch, scored a run, fouls it back, strike one.
Defensive change a couple of innings ago. Number 7 in the batting order for the Mets is Carlos Beltran. So it's Wright, Davis, Francoeur, and Beltran if somebody reaches. So this would fall under that category of a tough save. One-run game against the meat of the order.
This one's out of play. It's 0-2. Lyon has pitched in now 8 of the last 10 games for the Astros.
8 trips to the bump on this homestand. One real ugly one against Atlanta. Got a loss, gave up 5 runs in an inning and a third. And the rest of his appearances have been scoreless.
And Wright is down on strikes.
A good start. They're working some cutters up and away. Gets on top of it a little bit more. Puts a little tilt on that breaking pitch. And polishes off a dangerous hitter. Slowly start to peel the cover off that spread in the clubhouse. Start to warm up those buses.
Ike Davis is 0 for 2 with a walk. Lyon throwing a couple miles per hour slower than last night's velocity, or his usual velocity. And that one's down to Ike Davis, ball 1. But he's one of those guys who really knows how his stuff is working on a given night. He doesn't panic. That showed again last night. He had bases loaded, 1 out. 2-2 game in the 10th inning. Got out of it, throwing 20 pitches. 1-1. Of the 20 he threw, only 10 were strikes last night. But Lyon made it work. And that's the real key for a good pitcher. Succeeding when he does not have his best stuff, when he's tired. One and 2 as he cuts it in on Davis. Cincinnati got 4 and the 4th at Arizona to take a 4-0 lead over the D-backs. Jay Bruce hit his 13th homer. Ramon Hernandez belted number 6.
Jay Bruce has been tearing it up out there in the desert.
Yeah. Cardinals are off tonight. So the Reds can make it a 3.5 game lead over St. Louis if they win that game. Trying for win number 6 in a row for Cincinnati. In the dirt there, and it's 2-2 with Jeff Francoeur on deck. The Astros would love to make this their 30th come from behind win this season. They trailed 2-0, and then Carlos Lee belted a 3-run homer in the 7th.
Try to sink her down and away here. Just miss that outside corner.
Good pitch.
Great pitch. If you're going to go away from Davis, you want to make sure you got it moving down. He's so strong, you know, even if you have him a little bit behind the fastball, you could just ride it into the Crawford boxes. Good looking pitch.
Laced on a line foul.
Brandon likes to work sinkers away, cutters in on the lefties, and Davis kind of wise to the program there. Looked like he was cheating on that cutter. If if he throws it where he wants to throw it, it's just so hard to keep it fair because it just keeps riding in on a left-handed hitter. It looks like a strike, so they commit, they start swinging, and then they have to adjust. And they might get to it, but hard to keep it fair.
Grounded at second. Blum over to Lee. 2 outs. Jeff Francoeur will bat. He's 0 for 3 with an RBI on a ground out. 26,271 the paid attendance. Fans have really seen some good late inning baseball on this homestand. The Angels beat Boston 7-2. Irvin Santana going to 13-8, beating Josh Becketer's 3-3. Strike to Francoeur. Bud Norris's 6th win on the line here. The Mets have had only 3 hits. All singles. Fly ball. Jeff Blum looks out at Michael Bourne. And Hunter Pence runs in. And Hunter Pence slides for the catch to end it. 3-2 final as the Astros win it on a Pence play in right. Carlos Lee's 3-run homer in the 7th, providing all the runs. In 2 hours and 31 minutes, the Astros and Bud Norris beat the Mets and Pat Misch. Final score, Astros 3, Mets 2.